Hi, what is up, my makeup nerds? My name is Alicia. Thanks for clicking on this video. And today I wanted to recap and rank the eyeshadow palettes that I used in the month of March. March isn't quite over when I'm filming this, but I'll probably only wear repeats because I have gone through 23 palettes this month. So let's just get into it. So 23 palettes. So starting at number 23 is my Essence Taupe It Up. I used this because it was in my Court of Pans and Empties for this shade. So this is pretty much the only one I used. I have used the other shades, but that's the one I was doing mostly. So then at number 22, we have this little, it's the Revlon Color Stay Day to Night, and it is exquisite. I really love this. I got it at TJ Maxx, and it's just nothing, but it's such a good everyday nothing look that I really like it. And by the way, none of these palettes are bad. I like all of these palettes, or I wouldn't have them anymore. I've been able to give away palettes that I don't like to some friends with teenagers who like makeup. It's just that it's, you know, least best. So next is the Profusion Space Babe. My friend Carrie gave me this, and I love it. I have, as you can see, I've loved on it quite a bit. I've used these two shades for nail polish, actually, because they are pressed glitters, and I don't love that on my eyes. But it's got a nice mix of mattes and shimmers. It's kind of a weird color story, but obviously I liked this. You know, this pan came naturally. It was actually, I think, the first pan I ever hit. This is a nice shimmer, so, you know, I just pull it out every once in a while. I used to keep track of how many times I was using each of my palettes, and I would try to use them all equally. So, you know, if I hadn't used this one yet 14 times, I needed to use it. And it was actually a really good way to get use out of my palettes, but it got to be to where when I was pulling in new palettes, I felt like I had to use them the 14 or 15 times before I could put them away. So I'm still keeping track, but a lot more loosely. So at number 20 is the Revolution Mother of Dragons palette. Again, this is in my Court of Pans and Empties. I'm working on this shade called Dragon. So you can see it's got a nice little kind of a dent in it. It's a really nice flame colored set, as you would, you know, think, but it's kind of one note for me because of that. I know you can do neutrals and stuff, but these are the shades I reach for. But I like having it because they are good reds and greens and yellows. Which one did I use? I think I used this one in my brows the day I used it. So it's nice. It's just not my favorite formula. Speaking of not favorite formulas, number 18 is my Lisa Frank Morphe palette. I'm a Lisa Frank freak from way back. So my friend Madison was in the airport and found this in the duty-free section, and it was like $15, so she bought it for me. I mean, I love the color story. It's just not one that it's got a cute little mirror. It's not one that I reach for all the time. But I like it because it's got a wide array of colors, so it's a rainbow palette, but like not, you know? So like because I don't have many colors like that, or like these peachy, like, and lighter greens. So I wouldn't get rid of it. One, because if I ever do get rid of it, I'm just going to see if I can depot every single one of those shadows and fit, like, I don't know, singles in there or something, because I love the packaging so much. But I'm also not one to keep things because of packaging. If I can't repurpose it for something else, I will just get rid of it. I just have too much clutter in my life as it is. So that was number 19. Number 18 is the Give Me Glow Pastel Dreams. I lusted over this palette for a long time. I got it secondhand, and I'm working on it in my deck of panning. I'm doing No Pan Left Behind. I already did kind of my own level up thing, which is what the 3s are for. I guess this just wasn't, I guess the tones weren't exactly what I wanted. I specifically talk about this purple. This purple shimmer just gives off an orange tint almost. And so like when I go to wear it, it kind of throws the look, you know, but besides that, the shimmers are beautiful, buttery, you know, they're really beautiful. The other thing is these pans are humongous, so if I were to ever try and pan them, it would take a while, but that's okay. So number 17 is the Clarity Cosmetics Bridal Party. Another one that I lusted over and said, oh, I'll just get this when it goes on sale. It goes on sale. And I finally did. But these, so Amy Melissa got this palette and she swatched these shimmers. And I was like, gimme, 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 gimme. They're crazy. And actually that's one of the reasons that I actually don't wear it as much, because they're so shimmery that they actually have a good amount of fallout when I wear them. But with a little glitter glue and stuff, they're great. And then the deep colors that are with it, like I really love this like bluey sagey color. Very bridesmaid's dress. I have worn a bridesmaid's dress this color. You know, I've seen bridesmaids dresses this color. This is a very aptly named. Oh, I didn't even show. Oh, I didn't even show you this guy. This is just so yummy. And actually, this one's a shimmer too. See, there's so many shimmers. And those are very deep, so very unique colors. So I love the palette for that reason. And like, man, when you want a pop of shimmer, she's your girl. So that was number 17. Number 16 is the ColourPop Clay It Cool. I had this in my cart for a long time, and I finally decided I didn't need it. And then I saw Riri. What is her handle? Wow. The Brutally Honest Beauty. She had this, and I was like, oh, great. Well, now I need it. Again, it's a beautiful everyday, just neutral look, and I love that every matte has a shimmer that's in the same tone. So, you know, if you're feeling just matte, you can do that, and if not, you can do that. This is a cream. It's not cream to powder or anything. It's not like a Natasha Denona, but I've used it as like my primer when I use this sometimes. I don't use that shade a lot, but I really love, that's just a nice everyday. So number 15 is the Michaela Part 2 Mini. I talked about this creator in another video. She really got me back into makeup. I had to get off TikTok actually because of her, because when she had her original drama, I was way too invested, and it just was not, I didn't like myself. So I got off TikTok cold turkey. Between her and Ned from the Try Guys, that drama all happened at the same time, and I was way too worried about parasocial relationships. But I really appreciate that she got me back into makeup. Not back into it, really kind of into it for real. And also, I didn't know Glamlight before her, so I appreciate her showing me Glamlight. This is a beautiful neutrally, but like a fun neutral palette. You know, like, I love this like red-based, it reminds me of Rooftop Cocktails, the Super Shock Shadow from ColourPop. But they're just like, they're beautiful shimmers, and the mattes are really nice too. I use it a lot for this sagey, and it just feels so nice. Like, Glamlight's formula is really beautiful. So I love this palette. I use it a lot. So that came in at number 15. Number 14 is the Juvia's Place Walhalla 2 palette. So again, I like to, especially with makeup, I try not to do impulse buys because I would own a lot more makeup than I do if I just bought it, you know. So this palette, I didn't get it. And then it went out of like production, I thought. So I was looking for it on Poshmark and Mercari, and I was having a particularly good day anyway. And I went into Ulta, and this home slice was out in the Juvia's Place section. And then I realized that I had like a 30% off coupon. It just kept getting better. And so like I love the feelings I get when I look at this palette, but I didn't realize when I got it, look at all these blues. They're all the same. Like this whole row is like, whether it's a satiny or a shimmer, I mean, like they're all the same. So I don't pull it out as often because it's not as versatile as I wanted it to be. I think this is one of those palettes that when you look at it, the color story is just so beautiful that it inspires me. And these are my colors. You know, I really love them. They do have some pressed glitters in here. So I have used a couple of these as eyeshadows. Nope. They're eyeshadows already. Nail polishes. But I don't do that often. But this is my favorite shade in this. So if you can see it, it looks pink, right? And then you put it on and it looks very green. I don't know if this has a mirror. Can you see that green? So it shifts very green. So it looks so pink. And actually the shade is called Fake. So I love that about it. Overall, I really love the quality of the shadows. Some of the shimmers could be punchier, but I love this. And I pulled it out specifically to wear that shade. And that's one of the things I love about getting to know my palettes like I do, because I'm like, oh, I need this one, I don't know, mustard yellow. And I'm like, oh, I know what I could do for that. So I do kind of love that. So speaking of that, at number 13 is my Profusion Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I wanted this, but I didn't want to buy it for myself because it's ridiculous. But look at it. I mean, not just the colors are so beautiful. And I didn't realize, like, so my best friend bought this for me for Christmas. And they're so beautiful and they're so punchy. And the thing is, like, this purple, she's like grape and like Kelly green and royal blue. And like, they really punch. And then those shimmers are really nice. But like, I'll show you, this is the purple I use. It feels so buttery. It doesn't swatch as nicely as it does on the eye. But I'll show you some of the shimmers. In case you haven't figured it out, I'm a sparkle girl. I'm all about them shimmers. So that's the grape matte and some of the shimmers. They're just so nice. So I used this, I believe, for my, I think for my Bingo of Shame. Oh, no, it might have been for Mardi Gras. I did a Mardi Gras look. So that's number 13. Number 12 is the Ace Beauté Oceanic. This is my kind of color story. These are my power colors. I love them. I used this for the Bingo of Shame for sure because we did the Earthy palette from Beauty Bay, so it was very green heavy. So I used those two in that. So that's what I used this for this year, or this month. But love this palette. Love this guy, is one of my favorites. I mean, it's pretty great. So that's number 12. Number 11, I think I'm running out of wet to be able to do as many swatches, is the Aurora Strut palette from ColourPop. My husband got this for me for Christmas. I asked for another one that's coming out soon, and he also got me this one, which I loved. And he actually said that this one looked more like me, which he's not wrong. So it's very beautiful. A lot of people love it. I see why a lot of people love it. I originally didn't think I needed this. I was like, no, I could pass on it. But, I mean, I get it. I get it. And, I know and love the ColourPop formula, so I knew as soon as I got it that, yep. And so, it's another one where it's like, I want a pop of color, but I also feel like it does really well when I want to do like a 2000s kind of like icy, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, number 10 is the Garden of Juvia's palette. I got this when DW mentioned in her story that it was on sale for like $7.99. Say less. So it is a great pastel palette. I actually like it a lot more than the Pastel Dreams. I was working on this shade in particular for my Court of Pans and Empties. So I haven't played with the rest of them as much as I'd like. I think I've used them all at least once. Maybe not the greens as much. I should work on like the sages, and I'm realizing that I have a lot more sage in my collection than I thought I did. So that was number 12. Nope. Nope. Number 10. That was number 10. So we are at number 9. It's the Menagerie Flight Club. I love bats. They're my favorite. And I like purple eyeshadow. So when I saw this, it was like, well, yeah, I need that. This is not original to the palette. That's a Nomad single. Used to be a cream. I used this in, I think it was a Court of Pans and Empties as well. And I did a No Pan Left Behind. So I really love how different these shimmers are. They're all so different. I don't know which one that one is. It must be this one. So they're so different. Like, they're all purple and they don't look that different when you're looking at them. But then depending on what kind of shade you know, what kind of hue of purple you do, I really like that you can have a lot of versatility even though it's all purple, you know? Okay, number 8. It's my Fantasy Cosmetica Warlock palette. I brought this in for my deck of panning this month. So I just need to do 3 looks with it. Usually I do a weird combo. Like I do this in the outer corner with this as a little bit of liner. Then I do this guy in the crease. So it gets like this like gross, like ucky green hue to it. And then this guy on top is just like so shimmery and yummy, and it brings it all together, and it's good. But the look that I did with it so far for my one looks was a very green look. Not for St. Patrick's Day, just because I felt like it. So I really love Fantasy Cosmetica. I only have 2 palettes from them. I would love to try more. I'm just finding that, especially doing the Bingo of Shame that Andy from Makeup Than the Mundane and DW at Does Beauty Diary do, I haven't had but one of the palettes that they've used. So I have duped every single palette that they do, and I've done it successfully. And it's taught me that you don't need to buy everything because you probably have that shade. Because I think I have, I don't know, 68, 70 palettes. I don't know. I don't need more. And I've gotten rid of a bunch, and I'm good at, you know, not a bunch, but like ones that I don't use. And I've given them to the teenager, and I've seen them, what they end up like, and I love that they're getting loved, because otherwise they would just go sit in my palette, in my drawer. Anyway, number 7, ColourPop It's a Mood. This is one of my, like, OG Bigham's palettes. The weird thing about this palette is I think I love the idea of this palette more than I actually like using it. because this color story is so yummy. I think that I'm an autumn in that I really like jewel tones. So like, you know, the deep, like the eggplant and the teal and the olive and the burgundy, even the orange, like they're very deep and they just feel really nice. I again did like my own little level up thing, so I've used each one of them 2 times. This one I used as a nail polish because again it's a pressed glitter and I don't love those. But the rest of them, I think that's the only pressed glitter. Well, these 2 orange ones are like, they're not as chunky, but they are more glitter. So that's okay. I love this palette. I pull it out often. I mean, and often enough, but it's an OG favorite. So next, number 6, Huda Rose Quartz. Got this secondhand as well, and I just kept seeing people do so many looks with it, and it's beautiful. I get it. It's such a good everyday palette. You know, you like throw on, if you want warm, you go here. If you want cool, you go here, and then you slap on a shimmer, and they can be so different. Like the same look can be so different. And when I wore it, I think this, so I laid down whatever I did in the crease and stuff, and I did that. Oh, I was doing like a rose gold look. So I think I did this guy in the outer corner and this guy in the inner corner of my eye to make it like rose goldy, because I was wearing this cool like Pink Ladies bomber jacket thing that I have. So that was cool. Number 5. This is the other one that I actually requested from Santa. Was Stone Cold Fox. So after getting Rose Quartz, I very much wanted the Icy Nude, the last big palette from Huda, but I didn't want to spend that kind of money on it. And you know ColourPop's always running sales and stuff, so I just waited, and I think I told my husband like when they were like 30% off, or when it was like 2 big palettes for 30, or you know, that they do sales like that all the time. I love this palette. I am finding more and more that I am a cool toned girl when it comes to like my default. I know I'm not wearing any of that right now, but they're just beautiful, and they're so metallic and yummy. And I also find that I like to do cool shades if I don't often fill in my brows, but when I do, I like to use like a cool shadow. So I would probably use like that guy. I think that one's usually a little too dark and too gray. But my eyebrows are so dark as it is that if I go with something that actually matches, like I have the Lift and Flick, what is the NYX tool? When I fill that in, if I do like just a couple lines here and a couple lines here, especially my mom's like, did you do something to your eyebrows? You know, and I'm like, yeah. So that was number 5. Number 4 is Urban Decay Stoned Vibes. I got this. I've seen so many people love on this palette so much, but especially DW loves this. I got it secondhand. I love this palette. I usually do this guy, lay down in the crease, and then I do these 3. I think I usually do her in the outer corner, her in the inner, and this over all of them. And I love that as an everyday because it's so sparkly, but just so good. But again, I like wearing these 2 together. Oh, I really love this Bloodlust is another one of those like brown with the red shades. I'll do Vibes because she's my other favorite. So see that green and browny red shift in Bloodlust. It's so nice. So I get it. I get the hype. Every time I see somebody using this palette, I'm like, yeah. And there's a couple that I just keep out. So Rose Quartz and Stone Vibes stay out. They're not even in a drawer. They just stay on top of the drawers so that I can just grab them. Because I also could put any one of those down and put like a Super Shock on top or something like that. So I really like that. So in number 3, again, I know, but it's my Michaela palette. This color story can't be beat. Like usually when I go on vacation, this is the only palette that I'll bring, like big palette that I bring, because it's got all these neutrals. It's got all these neutrals on top, and then I can do so many colorful looks, and I am a colorful person when it comes to eye makeup. The louder, the better. And usually I say this because I'll do a eye makeup look, even like this one, where like some people would be like, that's a lot. And then I put on these glasses and pretend the ring light wasn't there, but like it takes away a lot of what happens, so it doesn't look as intense as, you know, as when I don't have my glasses on. So I do some crazy looks with it. But I figured out how to do a look for around Halloween time that involved like laying down again this gross green. Love this gross green, grungy green, with the pink in the corner. And then I put this guy, it's called Manifest, on top. And it's just, it's so good. And then I used, what I used this for this month though was the Audrey shade, this teal shade. And I like glow up a lot. I used this shade in the Bingo of Shame so that I could, it looked like one of the shimmers in the Earthy palette. So that's why I used it. So anyway, so that's number 3. Michaela from Glamlight. Number 2 is in my deck of panning again, and it is the Glamlight Garfield collab. I've always been a huge Garfield fan. Growing up, my grandmother would always get us Christmas ornaments every year, and it was like based on what your like was. Started off as teddy bears, morphed into cats, which morphed into Garfield. And it was Garfield for a long time. I think until I discovered mermaids. So I love this color palette. Is not what you'd expect. It's just beautiful. And the shimmers are so good. So I love this palette, and it's so unexpected from like just a weird cat collab, you know, like I love it. So that's number 2. And then coming in at number 1, a palette that I lusted over, and then I made sure I watched all the PR videos to make sure that it, like, I would really get my uses out of it. It's the Blend Bunny Longing palette. And man, does she live up to the hype. I like to know how often I use the shades in my, like I said, in my new palettes, since I don't necessarily use them right away, all the way. This palette is just so beautiful. So I did a purpley, I mean, the mattes, they're so beautiful. But like, ugh. That's just like the matte, and then like 2 of the shimmers. It's crazy. It's so good. And this is another one where I could pull this out. And like I said, I'm moving into my cool tone era, and this is just cool tone everything. Cool tone purple, gray, teal, sage again, and then this gross grungy green. It's so good with the olive shimmer, and it's just so beautiful. So that's my number 1. So there you have it. Sorry this video was a little longer, but those are my 23 palettes that I used in March. I do wear makeup pretty much every day, and then if I can help it, I wear more than 1 palette at a time if I need to. Like I said, with Mardi Gras or with the Bingo of Shame, I'll use a couple different ones. So I love makeup. I love playing. I love being creative in that way, and it makes me happy. So I hope you enjoyed this. If so, come back next time. Have a great day.